Hey guys, I'm about to react to Brandon B. Productions' second Marvel fan film that I know of, Hulk v. Wolverine, Beasts Unchained. Let's see if this is in the same universe as his other very well done fan film, Spider-Man Hero of New York, which has been nominated for one of the Spider-Man Fan Film Awards. So let's check it out. Let me leave a comment letting him know that I'm reacting to it if it loads. Here we go. Oh, it's Frank. Frank Castle. Punisher must have had kids when he was like 4. I can hear a little kid in the background. Why does Punisher want money? Punisher's selfish and greedy in this. They got Brandon to play Spider-Man to reprise his role. Well, there's less of Hulk versus Wolverine, but more like Hulk versus Wolverine slash Spider-Man slash Deadpool slash Sword of Punisher. The music is so perfect. How did he not get flagged for copyright infringement? How do you not get this video taken down? As much as I like the music, I gotta fast forward. Facial things that can't. Oh, Wolverine will return. Hulk will return. Deadpool will return. Spider-Man will return. That was just perfect. Job well done, Brandon. Job well done. Well, I'm gonna go now, guys. But okay, yeah, that was good. And I got. Let's see if I have any other comments. Maybe I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Oh, Brandon. Okay, here. Hold on. Well, actually, Brandon, stay right where you are because I have to go do something real quick. But I'll give you the link so you can go on. But I gotta do something for like I don't know, like 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, not Brandon Ray. Here you go. Click the link and that should allow you to join. I'm gonna go do something, but I will be back, so don't worry.
Have you joined yet, Brandon?
Brandon, my boy, I'm here. Hmm. So we're waiting for Brandon to join, guys. He made this film. So yeah, I am waiting for Brandon, but I guess you could say that I'm not. Oh,
Am I
hi,
here?
Brandon.
What's
Some
up?
might say I was waiting for you. Others might have said that I'm holding up for a hero. So yeah, I am waiting for Brandon, but I guess you could say. Oh, sorry. Let me just. Oh,
Am I here?
I was watching myself. Say I was waiting for.
All right,
Why do I hear myself still?
because I had the
Oh.
background.
I had it on.
So, what's up?
Oh, what's up with you? So this is I'm assuming this is in the same universe as Hero of New York.
Yes.
So is the Punisher's backstory the same as it is in the comics in this?
Yeah. It also has a little bit of relevance to the Punisher movie, the one that we did.
Mm-hmm.
That's got a little bit to do with it. Yeah. So, overall, what were your thoughts on the film?
I thought it was great. I did. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it got Deadpool perfectly.
Yeah, I know. Like, I always sent before I even did Hero of New York, and I was sorry if my throat sounds a little
Mhm.
it's this weather's been crazy. So,
Yeah.
I've been just before I even started Hero of New York, I was just planning out, who I was going to cast as all these different characters.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I really want to use Deadpool, but I need somebody who's really funny, but who also can, pull off not being that serious. And then I was like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, we got my friend Sam, who he went to my school at the time. I was like, this kid is just, he's not very serious when it comes to certain things, and he's funny.
Yeah.
This kid loves Deadpool. I'm telling you, he's like a Deadpool super fan.
Oh yeah.
He's got a whole bunch of the comics. We went to the movie premiere, and he went dressed in the costume. We went. He played all the video games with Deadpool in it. He's got a huge collection with Deadpool. He's a huge Deadpool fan. So I was like, the perfect choice is right there. And afterwards, I had all these people when they were like, "Oh, Deadpool's gonna be in the movie. Dude, who's playing him?" And I'd be like, "Sam, everybody." Everybody and their mom was just like, "No, are you kidding me? Why, Sam? You're gonna be a horrible Deadpool." And three
Yeah. Right.
three people who auditioned for Deadpool was, the Punisher actor. He's like, I'd make a way better Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, try actually fitting in the suit though.
Yeah.
And then my Miles Morales actor tried to be Deadpool too.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Luke Cage actor tried doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you guys got to give Sam some credit. I was like, you got to give him some time, and you got to wait till the film comes out, and then you guys are gonna see it. And then, my parents saw the Deadpool movie, and then they saw Hulk v Wolverine, and they were like, yeah, Sam is perfect as Deadpool.
Yeah. Your parents weren't like oh, they weren't upset about his crudeness.
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
They brought me there. My mom was kind of like, freaking out a little bit, and she's like looking at my dad like, are you sure we should be here and that he should be
That's
watching?
exactly my mom's reaction. She was like, when we were going up the elevator to the movies, she was like, I don't know if I should take you, you know?
Yeah. And then my dad's like, he's just like relaxed. He's like, he's gonna see it eventually.
Yeah.
It's just a couple, within a couple years he's gonna see it eventually. So why not just like proper educate him with this right now?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know what going into Deadpool, you knew what the F word was and what sex was and everything.
Yeah, I knew that. I mean, I went to public school most of for pretty much my whole middle school life, except for like 1 year. I went to public school, and this was like the public school in my district is probably like the worst public schools ever.
Really?
Because like they're just like, I don't know, it's like I'm not gonna like stereotype it and say that everybody in my schools are bad, because most of my actors came from my schools, so not all
Yeah.
bad. There's a lot of good kids there, but there are a majority of the kids that are just pretty much that go to the public schools, and
Yeah.
just because they want to like go through the cracks, they just want to pass the classes with easy grades.
Yeah.
The public schools,
Midtown High always seemed like a controversial school.
yeah. So yeah,
That Flash Thompson kid, he gets on my nerves.
yeah. Did you notice that Flash Thompson was the same from Punisher, the same actor?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they were the same. And the Hulk was actually the same guy who is in the hallway in the Hero of New York scene. Did you know who that was in the Hero of New York scene though? Because like a lot of people didn't know who he was.
No, who was he?
He's actually a Spider-Man character. From Hero of New York, when he like is defending me in the hallway from Flash Thompson, that's Steve Hopkins. Isn't it like Peter's college roommate or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like he goes up, hey, Flash, out of the way. Get out of my way, Steve Hopkins, so I can bully Peter. You're making me angry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't decide which one is better, Hero or New York or Hulk v. Wolverine.
Which one do I like better?
Yeah, well, I mean personally, I can't decide which one's better because, I mean, with Hero of New York, I got like Peter's Webs vibes, but at the same time, Hulk v. Wolverine was just so perfect.
Yeah. Thing is, though, what I liked about that was that it was one shoot. It was like one shoot for that final scene, and for like those scenes where they're fighting. That scene where they're fighting, that was like one shoot, and it's like and it was just like a 1 day shoot. Like they came like really, really early, and we shot the whole thing that whole clip that day. So we had to have like 2.5, like 2 carfuls for them, because there was a lot of people there, and we weren't that short off of how many heroes are in Civil War.
Oh,
because you notice that there's only like what? How many heroes are there even in the new Civil War movie?
I don't even know. Is there like
there's
Spider-Man, duh. Iron Man, surprise, surprise. Shocking plot twist, Captain America, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, Ant-Man. Who else?
Vision,
War Machine. Yeah, Vision, War Machine. That makes 9. So
and Falcon.
did I say Ant-Man?
Yeah, you said Ant-Man.
Falcon.
Yeah.
That makes 10. Falcon.
Yeah. So there was 10 there. And what did we have? We had Spider-Man, Deadpool, we had Hulk, we had Wolverine, we had Punisher, and we had Sabretooth there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6. That's 4. That's like 4 less than they had. But like, if we only had 6, but that's all right. Because we're only a fan film, we're fan films, but they're legit. So, and they only had 10. In the comics, though, wasn't it like a whole bunch of superheroes, not just like 10?
Oh yeah, there's like an image going around on Instagram where they have where it has a picture from Civil War in the comics, and then it has like the heroes going up against each other and facing each other, and there's like tons and tons, and then it shows below it. It shows a picture of them all, the shot where they're all going at each other in this the recent Civil War trailer, and there's like a lot less, and so then Deadpool is at the bottom, and he says it's like the studio couldn't afford any more superheroes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Well, I heard a lot of people were upset when they announced Civil War because they hadn't established that many superheroes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they could have brought. I mean, they didn't have to kill Quicksilver.
Mm.
No, they really didn't have to do that.
I liked. I will. I Here's the thing, though. I don't think they had to. Although I do think, in my personal opinion, Days of Future Past Quicksilver was slightly better.
I did like Days of Future Past Quicksilver. I just think more of like he acted more like Quicksilver, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, he looked more iconic to Quicksilver.
Yeah.
I actually planned to cosplay as the Days of Future Past. When I actually have the cosplay in some of my older videos, it was actually like in the back, and you like the shirt and the jacket. I have like I got like a leather jacket and I spray painted it silver, and I got like the Pink Floyd shirt. I got the Walkman radio. I've actually been
there's a new commercial where Cookie Monster is baking cookies and he's playing "If I Could Save Time in a Bottle."
Is it like in slow motion?
No, it's not in slow motion, but he's like trying to set Siri, because it was a Siri commercial, and he's trying to set her to get the time to go so he can cook the cookies, to start the timer for the cookies, and he can't get her to work.
Didn't like Michelle Obama turn him into like the vegetable monster or something?
I don't know. Michelle Obama will say, "Eat your fruits and veggies," and then she'll go off and eat McDonald's. So
yeah, I remember she posted on because I saw on like a thing that she in like a commercial, like an ad or something, she made a Cookie Monster like he was like, "Oh, I'm the veggie monster" or something.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that somewhere. Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, and then like you saw it in McDonald's that for a while she actually changed the fries. It went from like a size like this to like this.
Yeah.
Like
just like she's and meanwhile, apparently she's not on the most healthy diet, so a little bit of a double standard.
Yeah. Well, president election topic these days are pretty touchy topic, I would definitely say.
Yeah.
You got Sanders, Clinton, Trump.
I was just a boy from Brooklyn, you know? I'm just a Jewish guy from Brooklyn who wants socialism. What's so wrong with that?
Yeah, you see, I had a very struggle in my life. It was not easy growing up because my father, he only gave me a small loan of $1 million, guys. That's like no.
Yeah.
Couldn't even buy a 2-story mansion with that.
Oh my gosh, the humanity.
So sad, man.
All I could get were some of the best strippers in New York.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, the humanity.
Yeah, once what's her name? Melania Trump becomes first of like 7 ladies.
Yeah.
They were like Donald Trump and first lady Melania Trump, and second lady which one is it? Ivana or Ivanka? Which one's his daughter? Which one's his wife?
Yeah, well, I think how it works is your current wife, whoever she may be, becomes the first lady if you're married to her. But if you're divorced or your wife is dead, then they arrange something else, like your sister or your daughter, if she's old enough, becomes first lady. Because I believe with Grover Cleveland, the first half of his first term, he wasn't married, so they got like a sister instead. With Thomas Jefferson, his wife died long before he was president, so he got his daughter, who was old enough to be the first lady.
Yeah. What I find weird though about Donald Trump is he's 69 years old, going on 70 this month.
Yeah.
and his wife is only 20 years old.
Well, no, she's actually 40, but
She's like 40 or something.
yeah, she's like 20 years younger than he is. I think a little bit over 40, 20 years younger than he is.
Like that's like a 20-year difference. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
But did I say she was?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like Jay and Gloria on Modern Family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing someone do a video reaction because they had learned for the first time that Donald Trump had a daughter. And they're like, what? He has a daughter? Who would let somebody put their orange thing into them? Their ugly orange thing into them. And I'm like, well, if you think that's bad, he has like a hot 20 years younger than him supermodel wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to you went to New York Comic Con this year, right?
New York Comic Con was like so fun. Oh my God.
I went to the Cup of. Do you know who Joe Quesada is?
Yeah.
He's the guy who wrote everybody's favorite storyline, One More Day, where Spider-Man makes a deal with Satan to give up his marriage for Aunt May. I went to a panel that was run by him called the Cupo de Joe panel.
Yeah.
And they had like a bunch of other Marvel writers there, like Sana Amonet, who created Kamala Khan, who I'm doing a fan film about, and Dan Slott, the current writer of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started asking the questions, when the fans started going up to ask the questions, it was essentially the Republican debate all over again.
Yeah, that must have been so funny.
Well, I was like next in line to ask my question when they said, nope, we gotta shut it down.
Oh, I would be so mad.
Yeah, and the reason why was because there was this feminist. It was the first person to ask a question because she was. I don't know if you know about this, but they recently revealed in the comics that Bobby Drake, Iceman, is gay.
Yeah.
And it was controversial because they didn't have this big climactic coming out of the closet thing. What happened was Jean Grey said to him, "Oh yeah, you're gay, Bobby. I read your mind."
Yeah, I mean, like, but I don't know. Marvel's like, I think, you have like a lot of these people who are like controversy, so they're like attacking Marvel. Like you had like other races attacking Marvel that there weren't many black and Muslim characters, and then you got Miles Morales and
Kamala Khan
and all of these stuff. Yeah, and then you got the new Mrs. Marvel, and then
Miss Marvel, that's Kamala Khan, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was like pansexual, so they turned Harley Quinn pansexual, and then gay. Mm-hmm. Now Joker is actually bisexual in the comics.
I didn't know Joker was.
Yeah,
I knew Harley Quinn was, yeah. And a lot of people were offended by the Muslim Green Lantern.
Yeah, but they're trying to make the Joker. They said they're supposed to be making the Joker gay for Batman. What? And it's like that's gonna ruin so many. They're gonna lose so many Joker fans to that, though.
Yeah, unless it's like a different Joker.
Unless it's
like a new person taking on the mantle.
Yeah, like in did you ever play Arkham Knight or like watch a walkthrough of it or anything?
I've heard of it from time to time. Yeah, I've seen clips.
There's like a part in it where his blood goes into like other people, and they pretty much become their own version of the Joker. Like it's like turn red. Their teeth get stained, their skin turns pale, and like their hair like turns all like green and textured like his. So they pretty much, and their eyes become green. They just turn insane, and they become the Joker. If they do something like that in the comics, I'm pretty sure you won't have many people complaining about it. But
yeah, something like that happened at the beginning of this season of Gotham.
Yeah.
Have you seen Daredevil season 2 yet?
Actually, no, I haven't.
You know how in like Daredevil they had advanced excessive violence, and then in Jessica Jones they added rape and abortion?
Yeah.
Well, now they're adding snuff films.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because what happens is there's a scene, minor spoilers, not big, but there's a scene where Punisher goes into this, he wants to buy a few things, so he wants to buy like a gun and stuff like that. So he goes into this guy's shop and he asks for a gun, and so he gives him a gun. And so then he gives him like some videotapes of the mayor and stuff like that. And so then he's leaving, and the guy's like, sure, I can't offer you something else. How about this videotape? You know, she's 12 years old.
God, that's horrible.
And then the Punisher's like, what did you say? And he's like, yeah, I know you want it. I know you want it. And then Punisher turns around and he's like, yeah, I knew you would want that. And Punisher picks up a baseball, because they have baseball bats for sale there. And so he picks one up, and he's like, wait, what are you doing? Just take it easy. And then you don't see him actually do it, but you hear like this smash sound that implies that he smashed the guy's head with a baseball bat. And for selling kiddie porn.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's freaking gross.
Yeah. You watch the YouTube channel Scare Theater?
No.
No. Have you ever heard of any ARG games?
No.
Yeah, they're like alternate reality games. Where they essentially try to give you clues to figure out what happens, but usually they're like creepypasta related ish. You know what creepypastas are?
Yeah, I know creepypasta. That's like Slender Man, Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, Jeff the Killer is the most overrated one, in my opinion. Because the story is pretty bad. But yeah, those type of creepypastas. Yeah, usually there's something like that, like really creepy. There's one called Cave of Shadows, where it has this guy, and he says, oh, hello. They have like live streams of them saying, oh, hello, welcome to our broadcast. The Overwatcher has decided to let you see this today. And they have like different segments. They have like a news segment and like story time, and weird stuff keeps happening in all of them. And then they have a segment called Mr. Giraffe, and in every episode, Mr. Giraffe dies. He like dies more than Rory does on Doctor Who.
That must be a lot then.
You watch Doctor Who?
I watch it sometimes.
Have you seen the season 9 yet?
No. Still on one of the early ones. My friend cosplays as Doctor Who, so
Yeah, well, the Doctor, you mean?
yeah, the Doctor.
Yeah, oh, season 9 is so good. There's an episode called Heaven Sent, which is one of the best episodes.
Yo, I keep getting like text that on the chat there's like questions asked for us.
Oh, okay. Let me go over there.
Stuff.
My hand is greasy. I might have to get like a napkin or something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of I Hate Everything?
No.
Well, he reviews like bad movies. He has a series called The Search for the Worst.
Yeah.
And so he made this one thing where he looks at bad movies. Okay, I'm looking at the comment section. But he reviewed this one bad movie called The Amazing Bulk, which was a parody of The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
It has some of the worst CGI you will ever find in a movie.
Wow.
Because and I'm not kidding, look it up, and it has no focus whatsoever. Like there's literally a scene where the guy who's supposed to be a parody of General Ross, and in this, instead of him being green, he's the monster. The Bulk is purple.
And his pants are green?
And so, no, he doesn't have any pants.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You don't actually see him naked though. But there's this one scene where he turns big and purple, and this woman says, "The hell is that?" And then the other says, "Well, it certainly isn't Barney the Purple Dinosaur." And then they run away. And then he takes a car and throws it on Lisa, who's the one cop. And then the guy yells out, "Lisa!" And then the army guy arrests him, who's supposed to be General Ross. And so there's this evil villain who's like overly cartoonish. And we see him with his overly cartoonish girlfriend. And so he goes into a room and they imply that they're going to have sex. And he says, "Would you like something big?" "Yes." "Would you like something hard?" Yes. And then they go in, and then out of nowhere, and it's never explained why, you see you see a horribly CGI'd monkey in the back playing with the toy spaceship for no reason. I kid you not.
So we got the first question.
Okay, what's the question?
It says, "Do you think that your MCU will kill Spider-Man since you introduced the Punisher, like in the Death of Spider-Man storyline?"
And you introduced Miles Morales too.
All right. So what are your opinions on it? And then I'll
Well, my,
my response to the question.
well, I think it'd be cool to have Miles Morales eventually. I mean, it's your universe though, so I think it'd be cool. I don't know if would Punisher kill him because Punisher was kind of teaming up with Spider-Man, sort of, not really, kind of. I don't know. He's kind of on multiple different sides.
Yeah. So
So your opinion?
I mean, we introduced Punisher. I have actually talked about doing this with him before. So I talked with him about I was like, well, did you ever read the Ultimate comics? And he was like, oh yeah, I have a couple Ultimate comics because we had this one teacher in our school. Me and him went to the same school last year. We had this one teacher who was like this Ultimate super fan. He was like, really older though. So he had the first edition of like every 616 issue, and he had like all these different comics. But he was just giving them away to us because me and him are like the biggest comic fans. And he'd be like, "Oh, you
Wow.
comics?" And he's just giving us all these free 616 comics. It was cool. So we're collecting them. And anyway, so he read some Ultimate comics and stuff from him. And I was like, well, would you ever want to do the storyline where the Punisher kills Spider-Man? And he even
That's
said,
not 616 though.
yeah, I know that's it's more Ultimate. I mean, we took a few things from Ultimate though, because um in the Ultimate comics, that's when Peter is with that's when that guy in the wrestling, Uncle Ben's kill, that's when he doesn't get like his money, and that's why he lets him go.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because in 616 he just lets him go because he's like, what, I'm not a superhero.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, not my job. Not my job."
Yeah, that was Ultimate. Also the speech was Ultimate Spider-Man when he was like, your father had a philosophy that he thought strongly of.
I wonder what movie that was in.
Yeah. And he was like, with great power comes great responsibility. That was also technically more, it was kind of like Ultimate base mixed with 616 a little bit.
Just like, so you see, Peter, power and responsibility and stuff are trying to tell me that with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. Good talk, Peter. Good talk. Somebody get me my eggs.
Right?
Did you hear Sally Field trash the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
She was like, I wasn't even trying, guys.
I mean, there were things I didn't like about The Amazing Spider-Man, but there were things I liked about it.
Mhm.
Personally, I like the Raimi trilogy. And I mean, you can see that if when you watch Hero of New York, you can tell I like the Raimi trilogy a lot.
Yeah.
But
Norman, most people in Phantoms that have Green Goblin will just be like, "Oh, here, it's Harry. Oh yeah, he has a disease. He's dying. Wants Spider-Man's blood."
yeah.
You know?
Like the majority of fan films nowadays that use Green Goblin are just copying off of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 using that same.
Yeah.
I mean, Action Inc. used it, I think, twice.
Yeah.
They used that.
Well, they're doing it again. I think they're having another film where Harry becomes Green Goblin. Collab is going to be Green Goblin now.
Yeah.
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 But at least it's 6-1. The mask is 616 based.
Yeah. Their mask is cool, the composite effects one. At the time, I was not able to afford like a $600 Green Goblin mask. I thought our Goblin mask was good though in Hero of New York because I liked how the mouth on it.
Did you hear about the Ghostbusters controversy?
Oh yeah, that thing looks hard. That thing looks worse than the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh yeah, there was a YouTube channel that tracked down all the production issues on Fantastic Four. It was called Midnight's Edge. And so what they did is they like go into thorough analysis about a bunch of rumors. And even though they're rumors, they do mention, yeah, take this with a grain of salt. But a lot of the rumors that they do are pretty legitimate. And a lot of what the rumors they talked about with Fantastic Four that were unconfirmed turned out to be true. And so now they're talking about Ghostbusters a lot. And the Sony hacks. I'll be right back. Let me just get something, and then I'll explain it to you.
All right, all right, guys. I'm gonna answer some questions while he's gone. I am on Team Iron Man. To the people that are asking, I support Iron Man. For talking about the Civil War movie, not the comics. The comics I support Cap, but in the movie I'm gonna support Iron Man, just because Iron Man was, well, in the movie it just makes more sense to support him. Not only does he have the best team with him, but really it just seems like in the movie, it really just seems like Captain America is upset that they're after Bucky, even though Bucky committed all this crime, even though he was mind controlled. It just seems like Cap is getting like real emotional over this thing with his friend. And he's just starting to rule over it. So I'm going to go with Team Iron Man on that one. If you guys have any more questions.
You know it, bro. I'm staying here. Get out.
For you, others might have.
Get out.
What the hell was that? Screaming. Yo. Well, I guess he's coming back.
Let me try and pull up the thing, because we all know what happened with the Sony hacks.
Yeah,
Most of us do.
Yo, did you see in Hulk v Wolverine? Did you see that that girl that freaking appears? Dude.
And what?
In the fight, like when they're like just all standing there, did you see that girl that just freaking appeared?
Which girl? The Kate McKinnon?
No, you saw Hulk v Wolverine. You know, like when we're all fighting, there's like a little girl like in the background, dude.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, there's
Yeah, dude, that thing is oh my god, it looks creepy as heck because it looks like it's some kind of ghost girl or something, but really what it was. And you also hear her laughing in the beginning.
Well, I didn't see the girl. I just heard the girl yelling and screaming, like "I want my ball" or something like that.
You're trying to say she wants to leave and that she don't want to be there. He was
I want to be in this stinging movie.
She was supposed to be because we needed an extra car. That was my brother's girlfriend at the time, and that was her daughter, not his daughter, her daughter. And she just kind of had her there because it's her daughter, so she brought her. And things got actually weird on set. With her, she actually started beating my Deadpool actor with a stick that she found. She literally just picked up a branch and was just hitting him. And he's sitting there and he's just taking it. And he's like, "Hey, Brandon, somebody get this girl away from me." So my Punisher actor, no lie, he goes out to take care of it, picks her up, puts her on his lap, and he just starts sniffing her hair.
What?
I was like, you have to be the weirdest person that I've ever met in my life if you're just gonna pick up this little girl and start sniffing her hair.
Pedophile.
Started saying that, we're like, dude, you're a pedophile or something, dude. You're exposed. He's like, no, dude. He's like, he's like, I want to become I want to become one of those people when I grow up to smell hair products and test them out. So I'm like
That's weird.
He's like, so I'm like really, really good at detecting when somebody is like using shampoo, because I know she's using a good shampoo and conditioner. And I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like,
But you know, it says recommended now. Hulk v Wolverine Beasts Unchained reaction. Anyways, so let me find Midnight's Edge.
Okay, now they're asking, what do we think of the Spider-Man Vengeance idea by Action Inc. or Six Side Studios?
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a sequel to this saga. I enjoyed the saga, I would say. I mean, I didn't.
I thought it was okay. I mean, better.
I thought they could have done, a way better job on it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Peter was kind of a jerk to Daredevil because it's like he makes jokes about the fact that he's blind. It's like, yeah, make fun of his, the fact that he's inferior, even though you were bullied all your life, Peter.
and then it was like, it was kind of weird. It was like, why it was like just put like Peter in that movie was kind of weird. I mean, I felt he could have been.
I thought Mark Reek did a good job though.
Yeah, Mark did a good job. One thing I don't like though about and it was also a problem that I had with Dawn of Spider-Man is Mikey he always looks like he wants to just fall asleep in the movie.
Yeah.
In Dawn of Spider-Man, there was a scene in Dawn of Spider-Man where while what's his name? Adam is like looking at him and he's talking to him like, well, like I need your blood and you gotta go just ask Spider-Man. Please just go. And Mikey's like,
oh, okay. It's like, Peter, I'm dying of a disease. Okay, goodbye, Harry.
and then he's like,
I'm gonna go home and take a nap now.
I'm honestly right. I'm literally just like, I'm like, dude, why didn't he just tell them I don't want to film? I want to go the hell to sleep. Just freaking sleep.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they'll make a Daredevil spinoff.
They might make a spinoff. Who knows? But
they're making a Deadpool spinoff, I think, called like A Day with Deadpool or something like that.
Yeah, I heard that. But yeah, back to the question about Vengeance. The idea for Vengeance sounds cool. I mean, symbiote is just getting overused now. So,
can you see screen share?
Yeah, I can see.
When I went to Hulk v Wolverine, look what I found as the ad.
Date beautiful Russian single. Start dating now.
Okay, clicks on it. Oh, let's see. Where am I going? Yeah, nope. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I think I'll take the Asians. Okay, but yeah, as I was saying, the Ghostbusters hack, I finally got it up. Here's what the email leaked saying what might be the plot of the film. It says, and this is from Paul Feig, the director. Amy, here's my take on it. It's a reboot of the franchise in a world, our world, that has never had any legitimate content with the ghost world, contact with the ghost world. Our villain ghost is an executed murderer, a Ted Kaczynski type, think Peter Dinklage, who has left behind a manifesto of how he wants to change and destroy the world. With his execution is hit by a supercharged electrical storm. Hold on. Oh yeah, he is turned into a powerful ghost, able to rouse other villainous spirits from the ghost world and carry out the ever-expanding plans of his manifesto. Our 4 female Ghostbusters come together in an origin that seems fitting for a team on their diverse skills, with the intervention and trial and error of their various Ghostbuster technology and techniques as they try to stop the villain and his ever-growing force of evil ghosts, which is a boring way of saying we'll see 4 very different women come together and figure out in funny, scary, and action-packed ways how to save New York City and the world. The first film will deal with the mission, the formation of our team, and the evolution of their hardware, and at the end result in them forming the actual Ghostbusters business, rather versus starting a business mid-film like the original movie. However, I would like to keep their business as a secret government agency secret, um, uh, uh, secret, uh, their secret government agency, a business in a world where the government has to work to cover up the events of the first reboot, uh, uh, in order to keep the public from knowing that there is now a possible reoccurring ghost threat all over the country. I'm playing with that idea. A bunch of encounters. Da 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 da. And so he's saying that apparently the character is a Cecily Strong-like character who insults the the Ghostbusters, but actually always keeps apologizing to them for what they say about them behind the scenes.
Hmm.
And so then here's what the next thing says. Totally, but he misspells totally. Whoops. He says tonally. The film will be a bit scarier and more high tech than the original, and the set pieces will be bigger, while still being very funny. For example, I want the third act to have the entire police force and army accomplish the government, accompany the Ghostbusters to the final battle. But since our villain wants to deal with the Ghostbusters and make the government look ridiculous, get this, he possesses the entire police and army forces to make them do a ridiculous dance, uh, dance number in the middle of Fifth Ave, thus neutralizing them and delighting himself. I think that having our main villain be both evil and funny screws with our world as he is trying to carry out the points of his manifesto. Get revenge on everyone who slighted him, humiliate and take down the Wall Street, make the United States look ridiculous to the rest of the world, and eventually destroy NIC, which to him is the brain of the U.S. As well as having fun with the ghosts he picks out to carry various tasks. Could be all dead villains and famous criminals being from parts of the universe. Yes, ghost aliens. Our world isn't just the only place with bad and dangerous things that have died, you know. There's a lot of dead monsters out there who are looking for something to do. Anyways, these are all things I'm experimenting with our first draft. I hope this helps your lunch. Break a leg, smiley face, Paul.
I think the Ghostbusters reboot is going to fail way worse than the Fantastic Four one.
Oh yeah, and well now, that was only his first draft.
Oh, if that was just the first draft, I can't even. I don't even think I could bear the second draft.
Oh well, you know how they leaked what was supposed to be the Amazing Spider-Man 2 post-credit scene on Reddit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's apparently somebody on Reddit who has supposedly leaked the actual thing, and it's similar to what we see in the trailer. It basically starts out with Kristen Wiig, and she's trying to get her tenure. She's a college teacher who's trying to get her tenure. And so she wrote a book with Melissa McCarthy about ghosts, but she wants to get her name removed as it ruins any chance of tenure for her. So then she and what's her name? The Kate McKinnon, they go to a Madame Aldrich's mansion.
Yeah.
And they see the ghost. And then we see the scene where the ghost vomits on Kristen Wiig. And then she starts yelling out that ghosts are real, ghosts are real. And so Melissa McCarthy catches it on camera, posts it to YouTube, and then it goes viral. This ruins Kristen Wiig, any chance Kristen Wiig has of tenure, and she also gets fired from her job by her boss, played by Charles Dance. And so then the mayor declares that the Ghostbusters. Well, no. What happens then is they learn of more reports of ghosts, and we also learn that the villain is trying to have content to have contact with the ghost world. So
Not ruin
they rent.
blind. They better not
Yep.
ruin blind Man and stuff.
Huh?
They better not ruin like the good ghosts from Ghostbusters, like slime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they showed him in the trailer, but I believe that was him. But yeah. So then our villain is trying to make contact with the ghost world. So then they learn about it, and so then the black woman in the movie, she apparently she works at a Subway, and she sees a bunch of ghosts there, so she gets spooked and decides to join the three others. Oh, Leslie Jones, that's her name, the actress's name. So Leslie Jones meets with them. So then they go back to a firehouse mansion where they all assemble, and they form the Ghostbusters team. And so then they get the name Ghostbusters. They go to a rock opera concert and they stop a bunch of ghosts, and that leads them to getting attention as Ghostbusters. And then the news they report about it on the news, and they get the name there. They get the name Ghostbusters. So finally, they're told the mayor comes out and brands them as hoaxes, and they can't pay for the fire department. Also, at this point, they're working with Chris Hemsworth.
Thor.
Yeah, Thor. And so what happens is Chris Hemsworth well, then they're examining some more of the ghosts, and then the main villain, they track him down, but then he kills himself, and then he becomes a ghost. And so then they're examining the ghost, but then the ghost possesses Melissa McCarthy, like we saw in the trailer. And then Leslie Jones uses the power of Patty to get the ghost out of there. And then what happens is the government decides to help the Ghostbusters. So then they go to Times Square to fight off the ghost, but then the main ghost villain, get this, again, he actually controls them to do a dance number. So in other words, this is emo Peter all over again.
Oh God.
So then they send the Ghostbusters go. Well, the Ghostbusters, they aren't sure what to do. Send Leslie Jones says, I remember seeing graffiti on the wall, and then we see that, the shot of the trailer where they show the graffiti on the subway wall. We see that shot, and then get this, the main villain turns into a giant version of the ghost from the Ghostbusters logo.
I'm done.
And,
I can't.
and then,
I think
and then
I cannot watch this movie, dude. That thing is gonna be like worse than the Fantastic Four.
yeah, and then they finally win, and then at the very end, get this, let me find it. They say at the very end, Melissa McCarthy gets a phone call from somebody calling him from somebody, and the person says, "My name is Zool."
Zool.
And then apparently that was an old Ghostbusters villain. Cut to the old Ghostbusters song, The End. Now this is not confirmed, but it lines up with everything we saw in the trailer. And then the person said that he works for Sony and they treat him like crap, so he didn't mind reviewing that stuff. And he said he watched Angry Joe's review of the trailer and he is spot on. The jokes are very lame and the movie is a complete joke. There's really nothing serious that happens and nothing is scary. The dialogue is horrible, cheesy, and loaded with slapstick and side comments that ruin any tension in the film. I wanted this movie to be good because I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. But this is a fiasco. The Ghostbusters, the GGBs, literally were saved by a fire truck tow cable. I cannot believe the old cast agreed to do cameos. It is ghost vomit. Any other questions about the movie? I'll answer since I haven't included anything I remember from the film. Uh, Somebody says, "God, that's terrible." So overall, it's just a bad film. Are you a fan of Bridesmaids? Because the guy who directed it directed Bridesmaids and Spy. And then he says, "Never seen any of his stuff, but yeah, overall, really, really bad. My coworkers agree." So there you have it.
It is Fantastic Four, directed by Jar Jar Binks. But before he did that, he got high off of one of the old X-Men movies. And,
Yeah, and
boom.
then I also learned, apparently they're actually taking down comments that are hateful, but only if they have legitimate criticisms or if they're done by a woman because they want to appeal to a female audience. But here's the thing: leave any comments with a sexual slang or a racist slang, and they'll keep it there because they want to make it out like anybody who calls the movie bad is racist or sexist.
Of course. We got a question asking, what do we think of the new Venom spinoff movie?
No!
What universe do you think it's going to take place in?
I think it'll be an all-new universe.
Probably an all-new universe. So you don't think it would be in the MCU?
Well, they confirmed it's not in the MCU.
So it's not in the MCU.
Marvel has nothing to do with it. It's just Sony. And Avi Arad is back to work on it.
So maybe it's from what's it called? Is it Spider-Man?
I don't think so. I mean, part of me would like to think that because it would be nice to say, "Oh yeah, here we go." But most of the cast has been trashed. Well, Andrew and Sally Field have trashed the Amazing Spider-Man, and so did the guy who played Kafka. So I doubt it. I doubt they're going to revisit that.
Yeah.
They said the guy who's directing it is the guy who wrote the movie Edge of Tomorrow.
Or what would be cool
Mm-hmm.
is, what if we saw it in the Raimi universe again, back with Tobey Maguire?
Maybe. I doubt it though.
But I think it could be done because
You know why I don't want that? Because they'd have to bring Topher Grace back.
I mean, Tobey did say he wanted to become Spider-Man again. Oh, wait, technically
But then they'd have to have Topher Grace back, and nobody liked him as Venom. I mean, Spider-Man 3 was fine, but I mean, Topher Grace was not a good Venom, in my opinion.
They could do Matt Gargan Venom, though.
No, he's not as good as Eddie.
That would be cool. I mean, they could get a different Venom, or maybe like if Topher Grace came back, but
I think you need to do, for me, I think you need to do Eddie Brock correctly before you move on to Flash Thompson or Matt Gargan or anybody like that.
Well, maybe if he comes back to life for somehow, I mean, they could bring people back to life in Marvel.
I think it would just make sense to just flat out do their own thing, which I think is what they're probably going to do. So the rumor is they're going to do a Quicksilver like Spider-Man, because you know how Marvel has one version of Quicksilver and X-Men has a different version of Quicksilver. The rumor is it's going to be like that with Spider-Man. They're going to have one version in the Venom universe. I have a feeling this version of Peter will probably be older than the MCU Peter.
Yeah, they might. Who do you think they would cast as Sony's Spider-Man?
Maybe
I really hope they bring the auditions back to New York, though, as opposed to bringing them out in Atlanta. Because
they probably will.
Because if they do,
Sony.
Because if they do, I can audition.
I think it'll suck. They said the reason they're doing it is because of how big a success Deadpool was. But the thing is, Deadpool was made to pay homage to the fans. Venom is just being made to cash in on another movie's success.
Yeah, they've been planning on doing they wanted to do a damn Venom movie for 10 years now.
Yeah, and apparently they had given up on that idea after Spider-Man 3, but then they were like, oh, everybody's excited for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let's do Sinister Six and let's work on that Venom movie.
Yeah.
But then after that, when they made the Marvel deal, they kind of gave up on it again. But then they were like, oh, Deadpool's a success. Let's do it again. Yeah.
I mean, I do think though that if it was its own universe, it would be cool because then they could have a fresh start. But also, then again, it would confuse people. But then again, if they put it in, I don't think so. Yeah, it's probably not possible that it's in the Garfield universe. But think about it. If it was in the Raimi universe, you could have not only Peter,
No.
but they might even bring back Sandman or something. The Geek Studios says possible storyline if it's in the Raimi universe. What if Peter has retired being Spider-Man and Venom has survived the explosion, and Venom has to attack the city and there's no hope? That would actually be cool. And then you got
I think it should focus on Eddie Brock. I want it to focus on Eddie Brock. You know what they could do? Because have you heard of the comic Venom Lethal Protector?
Yeah, I heard of it. I never read it though.
Well, yeah, basically this sort of like SWAT team, like people are called the Lethal Protectors. Well, not really the Lethal Protectors. They're the jury. Venom is the Lethal Protector. So what they could do is they could have an adaptation of that. So say they do, the government starts the jury program. Let's say it's an established universe. Let's say it takes place during the time of the Tom McFarlane Spider-Man comics. Sort of, because they did say that Marvel did say that Sony could use, in the agreement, they said Sony could use 3 of their own characters.
Yeah.
So maybe the Avengers exist and everything, and Spider-Man exists, and so then they have that. But then the government is interested in, getting Venom's suit back. And so Venom's on the run, they can't find him. So instead they only have a piece of Venom symbiote that isn't effective on anybody, but they're able to replicate it. So, or some sciencey thing. So they replicate it and they make the Carnage symbiote and use it on Cletus. Venom fights Cletus, he defeats him, and then at the very end, we could see the government finally successfully replicates a more controllable version of the symbiote, and they put it on Flash Thompson.
Well, I actually wrote a Flash Thompson film that was supposed to be for Earthcore Studios. I mean, he never really did anything with it, so I don't know if he's still using it. But pretty much, it was supposed to be like a storyline after Peter dies and Miles Morales takes over it for him, because that was originally what they were going to go with for the universe. But Flash Thompson gets pissed because even though he was in the war and got like his legs blown off, he was like, "Who's this guy?" He's trying to make fun of Spider-Man. I gotta stop this. I gotta find a way to take this guy out. And then he finds like some kind of like he sees like an ad for the government, so he becomes the Agent Venom and just keeps the symbiote and fights Miles Morales. That's what it originally was supposed to be. So I don't know if he's going to use it because it doesn't fit with his universe anymore. So
I don't care if they make Sinister Six or Venom, but if they do, don't make Spider-Man the main character. Please don't make Spider-Man the main character. It was going to be called Sinister Six and Venom for a reason. Don't make it from Spider-Man's perspective. Because I'm doing a Sinister Six fan film, and in that, it's going to be from the Sinister Six's perspective. It's basically, even though they're villains, they're the protagonists because you follow them throughout the entire movie, and the good guys are the antagonists because they hate them.
Wouldn't be bad.
And what I'm doing in my script for the Sinister Six for my fan film is it's based off Superior Foes of Spider-Man minus Beetle plus Bombshell and Hypno Hustler. And it's going to be about a bunch of wannabe villains who are trying to prove themselves. Because if you notice in the Superior Pros of Spider-Man, most of them are like B to Z list villains.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me look at the comment section.
MCU, do you think the MCU do Secret Wars? I don't think they'll do Secret Wars. I think they're just gonna stop at Civil War.
Yeah. Well, I think not that. I think they're gonna stop it at Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. That's probably gonna be like the Secret Wars, though.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering.
Oh.
Although I think I had this theory for a while, although I think it's more unlikely now that Sony's doing Venom. That maybe. I had a theory for a while that maybe when Spider-Man, maybe in Infinity War, Spider-Man and the Avengers would go into space. Wait, did he just leave? I call you back. Okay. Let me put the link down below. So what's up, guys? Anyone who wants to join can, I think. Anyone who wants to join, just click that link right there. Well, I'm gonna go now, guys. Bye.